Hi guys, my name is Mila Smidt. I'm a professional wrestler from France. I'm 24 years old and I'm here to talk wrestling because I love wrestling, you love wrestling, and we love wrestling.
Welcome to Women on Wednesday. Ooh. Today is a great day. I'm joined by Nicole from Down for the Count, and we have a professional wrestler from France who's joining us today. She also has a background in Olympic wrestling. We have Mila Smidt here today. How are you doing, man?
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm doing awesome. Thank you. What about you guys?
I'm doing great, Nicole.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Sorry.
Good,
I,
thank you.
I see your cat is joining us, or do you have a cat, Mila?
Sorry?
Do
Yeah.
you have a cat, or is
Sorry,
that
my
Nicole's cat?
cat's
Oh,
always jumping
Oh
everything.
yeah, I'm babysitting the cats too. We have two cats here, but the one who's mounting is yours, I guess.
that's Nicole. So the the first question we always ask here is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Why do I love wrestling? I mean, it's quite simple. I mean, just wrestling is a part of me. It's actually the biggest part of me. I come from an Olympic wrestling family, so wrestling always been there in my life, and I fell in love with pro wrestling when I was 9 years old. So it's just like, yeah, my whole life is around wrestling.
At 9 years old, who was some of the people favorite wrestlers when you fell in love with it?
Actually, the woman who made me fell in love with wrestling was Victoria. When I first started watching WWE on TV, she was just standing out for me, and I was so inspired and impressed by her performance and her look and who she was and stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to look like her and watching her made me feel like, oh, I can do this too. I want to do this with my life. And yeah, so she has been the first woman who made me fall in love with wrestling.
Okay, so you say you come from a Olympic family. How do you well do you see the differences with Olympic wrestling and professional wrestling? Like, how's that transition for you?
Oh wow, yeah. So I started really Olympic wrestling when I was like 12 years old or something. And then I entered into a high level training center and stuff. So I've been competing a lot. I've been doing nationals, some international competition and stuff. And so I was getting to the national team and stuff. And then I always wanted to be a professional wrestler. So when I said I wanted to do my transition into pro wrestling, it's been really difficult for them to understand. Because it's not the same sport. It's really different, even though some stuff looks the same, some techniques, and Olympic wrestling definitely helped me a lot with pro wrestling when I first started. But yeah, it's a different mentality, different world. So it's been hard for them to understand at first when I said I wanted to become a professional wrestler. But now they support me, so that's fine.
Oh, okay, you do have the support now. That's good. Uh,
Yeah.
Let me throw it to Nicole because if I sometimes get going and I forget about the other people, so I'm gonna let Nicole get in here.
All right. So, hi. Thanks for joining us. I'm taking time out of your schedule. We really do appreciate it. So, I'm kind of curious. So, how was it? I'm not obviously not too familiar with how the indies work, or not even the indies, or how breaking into the pro wrestling world is in kind of like our European countries. So, if you can kind of talk us about how that process was compared to sort of like how it take or what it takes for our counterparts in this part of the globe to kind of start breaking into the industry.
So for me, as I said, I started like I've been doing Olympic wrestling a lot, so it helped me a lot when I started training. So for me, it started with seminars. So we had the chance to have like long seminars in Europe, like 1 week or more. I did first I did 10 days seminar, like intensive days where you train like from the beginning of the morning into beginning of the evening. It's like the whole day training with just a break for lunch. So I did those kind of seminars, and then I did like 1 month seminar So as I was learning pretty quickly, so I had my first matches like after a few seminars like that, and then it just kept on going into having more bookings and everything. But when I first started, I was still competing in Olympic wrestling and still studying and all the stuff. So it wasn't obviously a priority at the moment. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and see if it fits me and if I can do something in it. But I was still competing, so it was obviously Olympic wrestling still a priority. And then I broke my knee in Olympic wrestling, so I was out for a year.
Oh
And then
wow.
when I came back, I had like more bookings. I started having more bookings, and then WWE Tryout and stuff. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm done competing in Olympic wrestling. I want to do pro, and I'm gonna go like 100% in this. So, and then I had like more bookings in there, and it's just doesn't stop. That's cool.
So what was kind of like the hardest thing transitioning, or what was kind of like the hardest part with transitioning from amateur wrestling into being a professional wrestler, or vice versa for you?
I would say the lifestyle is really different. So when I used to be Olympic wrestler, I was more in town and stuff. I was traveling with Olympic wrestling, doing seminars and competition, but it was quite close. It was still in the same country or not that far, or not, we were not traveling that often. The hard part was like cutting my weight for every competition was really, really hard. But I would say that the hard part was just to adapt to the lifestyle we have now in professional wrestling, which is like being on the road 24/7.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I wouldn't say like the trainings are, I mean, of course, not the same, but it's the same lifestyle concerning the training part because we train every day and all the stuff. But it will be like, yeah, definitely all the travels in between and adapting to the business part as well that we don't have in Olympic wrestling.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so do you think that might have been why it was kind of so hard for your loved ones to get on board, because of such a lifestyle switch, and basically like you obviously having to take more time being away from home and being on the road?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I left home when I was 15 years old to enter in that training center in Olympic wrestling. So I wasn't home really often, but I was still home like
Yeah.
every weekend when I didn't compete. So now less home. I'm almost never home. If I have like 2 days at home per week or something, or sometimes I have weeks off because like most of the time we have the shows on the weekend and stuff, but still I'm not home as a lot. So yeah, I believe this is the hardest part for people's stays and like your relatives and your friends and your family and your lover and stuff. Like it's really hard for them, I guess, to just be there and wait for you. Definitely.
That's understandable. So just like a couple more questions, sorry, before I kick it over to Terry, because again, like I always love hearing. So I feel like we don't, unfortunately, get to talk to very many people who live outside the United States,
Hmm.
especially in Europe. So I'm always fascinated, kind of like how that process is, and kind of like how the industry kind of is or flows and ebbs in that area. So I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this, but you allowed to kind of tell us about like the process of auditioning for WWE, kind of how that came about, and
Oh
um,
yeah, sure. And anything you want to talk about, I'm up for everything.
I always like to check because I know sometimes they'll be like, oh, no, 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 I can't talk about. So I usually try to preface again, we don't want to force, but if you're allowed to talk about it, we would love to hear about the process of like
Yeah,
auditioning,
sure.
how that came about.
Basically for my first WWE tryout, it was applying on the PC on the Performance Center app. And so somebody in France who was a commentator for wrestling commentator who sent me the link. He was Célian Varini. So he sent me the link and I was like, okay. So I just went out from ACL surgery. I just finished my recovery and stuff, and it was like after finishing my recovery, it was like 2 months later. So I was like, wow, should I apply? What should I do? And he said like, you have nothing to lose, just apply and see how it goes. So I just filled in the papers and applied and everything. But in my head, I was like, they will never take me. I just got off from surgery and stuff, right? And I was still really new and really green in the business. I only had like 10 matches or something like that. So for me, it was like, okay, just do it to tell myself I did it. But I wasn't like really optimistic about this. Then 1 month before the tryouts, I had the answer from WWE telling me that I was invited. So I was like, what? And yeah, so it was pretty quick. So I was training and everything, but I didn't feel like I was 100% because of the surgery and all the stuff. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna give everything I have and see how it goes. And I mean, that's what I did. I went there. It went really good. They were happy about my job and stuff. I had really, really good feedbacks and guidance about what I had to work on and stuff. They've been really, really nice to me. Really, everybody was really friendly and stuff. I had nothing to complain about. It was really good experience. And then yeah, after this tryout, I had more and more matches, more and more bookings in Europe, outside of Europe, and yeah, it just went on and on.
That's awesome. So who is someone that you're looking forward to getting in the ring with, whether it be like still throughout the indies or on NXT or on you at NXT UK or NXT 2.0 for that matter, because obviously they're interconnected.
Yeah, I mean, oh wow, there's so many incredible women in this business. So many people I want to be in the ring with. I had the chance this past weekends with the Belladonna division to have a match with Rachel Ellering, which was really cool, especially for my US debuts. It was really nice. Then there's some women really who stand out to me. I'd really love to wrestle with Meiko Satomura, who is a legend.
She's like literally always my top four. She's
Oh
like
yeah,
she's literally on my Mount Rushmore of women wrestlers. Like just fantastic all around.
oh yeah, she's a legend. She's 25 years in the business or even more. She did everything. She's such a lovely person. I had the chance to meet her in NXT UK. She's really awesome. Also, of course, my dream match would be to face Victoria in the ring because she's the one who made me fall in love with wrestling. But then there's also Natalia, who's such a veteran and an example in terms of longevity in the business. Lufisto, I would love to face. Girls like Tony Storms as well. Yeah, there's so many women I can't even like tell all of them. I had like a woman I faced already, but would love to face her again because I was really new in the business when I had my match with her, and I'm sure like now the match will be like completely different. So it will be Casey Spinelli. She's awesome. Yeah, if I would have the opportunity to, I would love to wrestle her again.
Well, just one more question. I feel like I keep telling Terry just one more, and I keep going on. Just one more question, because I also really love Victoria. So, what is your favorite like Victoria era that she had? Like, I'm like was 100% like I loved like her. I don't like calling it crazy, but sort of like her unhinged gimmicks. I love the theme song, and I just like loved how she was just completely ripping everyone apart. So what was kind of like your favorite era of Victoria?
Yeah, so I discovered her in WWE. So obviously for me in this time there was like a lot of, the divas era, so beautiful girls and stuff, and she was really standing out to me because she wasn't just beautiful, she was like also like a beast in the ring and
Yeah.
just like so badass and stuff. So I really like this. I also like a lot the time she had with TNA when she was Tara.
Yeah.
Um, she was really, yeah, she always just stand out to me. She was really unique, and I love like every time I saw her in the ring, I knew it would be a great match, and I would have like I would be entertained, and there will be a good time.
Love it, love it. So again, so I'm gonna officially kick this over to Terry, but thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for your questions.
Oh, let's talk about it. So the Belladonna division, that was your US debut.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so first match in the US. Can you describe, because you're a world traveler, you wrestled in many places.
Mm-hmm.
So can you describe how it felt? I mean, it was a small town, but you did have a match with Rachel Ellering. How did that feel for you?
Oh wow, it was really amazing because it's every time it's something to make your debut in a new country because the crowd is different, the way of working is different, the wrestling style is different, everything is different from a place to another. So it's always like a challenging time because you don't know how it will be, how it will go, how the crowd will react to you, if they will like you or not and stuff. And so it's a bit stressful always the first time. So yeah, I was a bit nervous and stuff, but the crowd was really amazing. People were so involved in everything we were doing. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next matches and stuff because it was really good. I had a lot of fun.
Nicole, let me describe it to you. I'm there at the Belladonna division, sitting front row, and Mila comes out, and I'm like, she looks familiar. I don't know where I know her from, but she looks familiar. And then it was like NXT UK, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not. I don't think it was, but you used to have brown hair, correct?
Before, yeah, it
Okay.
was quite a long time ago.
So, a while you talked about your WWE tryout and everything. The reason I knew you is you're from Paris, and Paris is now picking up more on WWE here, news and everything with Amel, who signed with NXT. What's the wrestling scene like there in Paris now? With it's like more and more eyes in the media's getting more into it at this point.
I think, yeah, the French scene is really evolving in a good side. Every promotion we have now in France has evolved a lot, especially during the whole COVID pandemic because they had to. We had no shows and stuff, so they all developed their platform and stuff. And when we opened again to wrestling, the fans were really happy to have wrestling again, and they're more and more into it. They want to see more and more wrestling. Um, of course, now the fact that some of us has been on NXT UK, like Artemis, the referee, Amal, there was Tristan Archer, there was myself. I believe it just opened some doors as well, and um, it just opened the mind of people telling themselves, "Oh wow, there's some French people there, so we can make it." Uh, so yeah, it's just developed a lot of things, and now yeah, everything is evolving in the country. That's really cool.
With things evolving, um, let's talk about your character involvement a little bit. So debuting here in the U.S., I watched some of your old matches, but it seems with your debut here, you had like a mean streak to you. Little swag to you, little attitude when you came out. Are
Oh
you?
yeah, I
Are
changed
you?
my character. Yeah.
Is,
I think it's the part. This is all about wrestling. It's all about evolution. evolution and adapting yourself, trying things and just see what works and not. And when I first started, I had this gimmick of the French elegance, because I wanted to go out from my comfort zone and do something different and try something new. And it worked. At first, it worked. People were involved and stuff, but at some point, I kind of lose myself into this character because it wasn't really me. It was me without being me, 100%. So I was like, I don't feel too confident, comfortable anymore in this and stuff. And I had several feedbacks as well. And I told myself, I just need to go back to who I really am. I'm an Olympic wrestler, so let's go back to this. Because at the end of the day, that's what people want to see of me. And so I changed my whole gear. I changed my music, my attitude, everything. I just went back to who I am, and I'm having a lot of more fun now.
Okay. So, Nicole said it earlier, you being from overseas. Are you just here in the U.S. for a tour, or did you move over here to wrestle, or?
For now, it's my first trip here, so I'm here for a tour. But I'm planning definitely on coming back. Why not more often, or why not moving? I don't know yet. But yeah, I really enjoy my time here, and definitely I will come back.
Okay. Before we start to wrap it up, since you've been here, have you found anything here in America that you enjoy doing so far?
I had the opportunity to go visit Washington, D.C. And the monuments and everything. It was beautiful. It was really a nice day. So I'm looking forward to visit more towns, visit more things in the US, and knowing more about the culture and about the history and about all the places and stuff I could visit. I'm really looking forward to see more.
Okay. Seeing more. So I was on social media, and one of our past guests we had on, Zoe Sky. I saw you'll be facing her at C3W or CCW.
CZW, yeah.
On the 24th.
Yes.
Are you prepared for that match? Because Zoe Sky, she's not nothing to take lightly.
Yes, I'm always prepared for a fight. I'm fighting since I'm 12 years old. I ain't scared. I came here to fight, so I'm here. No problem. I'm ready.
I love it.
She also she got a lot of competitors coming up. I believe when I talked to him on Saturday, her and Maserati have a match coming up May 7th.
Yes. That would be cool.
Did you get to check out Maserati and her match while you was there?
Yeah, of course I watched her match. I had to add up some strategies for no match. What do you think? I've been there in front of the screen watching every technique, everything she was doing, every weakness point. I'm ready.
Okay. How long is your tour here in the U.S. if people wanted to book you? How long would they have to be able to see you out somewhere performing?
For now, I'm staying until the May 15th. Okay. And I have several bookings coming up. So stay in touch on social networks, and you will see where I'm next.
Booked and busy.
Yeah, pretty busy. Yeah, that's how we like it.
I'm gonna ask this question, Nicole. If you got any other questions after I got to, I asked everybody this question. I got to find out. Got to see where.
No, you can go ahead, Terry.
The Rock or Stone Cold?
Stone Cold.
Winner.
Did you just clap, Nicole?
Yes.
Don't be clapping.
You always clap when someone says The Rock, so
I do. We are three.
No one has said Stone Cold in a while, so I'm very happy.
Her plus the last two people said Stone Cold. You wouldn't know those. My rock stock is going down. I'm hurt right now. It's all right though. Did you see Stone Cold at WrestleMania?
Did I see him?
Like,
Yeah.
did you watch WrestleMania, see him come out and everything?
Oh yeah.
How did that make you feel? Because I ain't gonna. I got a little emotional because I was like, dang.
Yeah, I had goosebumps.
I was like, this is my childhood right here, and it's greatness. You got plans to be on that big stage one day, WrestleMania, if you can?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we want.
Yes, you do. Nicole, any last questions before we go to the closing?
No, just again, thank you so much, Mila, for talking to us, obviously taking the time. And then we just look forward to seeing what all you got booked coming up, and then seeing you also in NXT UK again, everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Busy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, Mila. But now this is your time to shine. This is what we call our put yourself over moment. This is where you let our people know your social media, things you got coming up, any ways they can support you. If you got a t-shirt store, if you have 8x10s you're selling, we just want you to put yourself over.
Okay. Hey guys, so I'm here for a month in the US. I have a month full of bookings. We will be pretty busy, so if you want to know where I'm next, just follow me on social networks on Instagram and Twitter, Mila Smidt, and stay in touch.
All the links to her profile, Instagram, Twitter will be in the description down here. She only here for a month. If you want to book her, you better contact her, get to her. If somebody wanted to book you, how would they contact you? Just through your Instagram?
Yeah, just drop me a message on Instagram, on my social networks and stuff, and we can figure this out.
Yes. So we'd like to thank you for giving us this time. I did see you perform this past weekend, and it was great.
Thank you.
Good things coming out. You and Rachel Ellering put on a fantastic match. If you want to see that match, it's going to be on Fight TV.
Yes.
I tried to go back and order it, but it said I had 12 days to rewatch the match. So in 12 days, thebelladonnadivision.com, you can go download that match, and you can catch her on CZW. April 21st is against Zoe Sky. So
yes, absolutely.
Great match. So again, thank you, Mila.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks,
you,
Nicole, for joining us. And I'm Trey D. And like I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet for the culture. Wrestling and you love wrestling, then we. You're not here, you missing out. Is this show?